Fresno State. It's our chance to hear from the Bulldogs interim head coach Eric Kiesau, named to that post yesterday after the dismissal of Coach Rueter. So this is first chance for Coach Kiesau to address the media and to address you at home. Coach, how would you like to start? How would you like to greet Bulldog Nation that has a lot of expectations for you here?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank obviously Jim Barco and the entire administration for the opportunity to lead the team for the next 5 weeks. It's a great honor. I'm very, very excited about it. And I think we're ready for it. It's going to be good. And I'd also like to thank, kind of crazy, my wife back here, who's actually here in tennis today. Again, it's been kind of a rough couple years, but she's always been there, and she's always supported me, and wouldn't be sitting where I am today if it wasn't for her and her support. And kind of saying that, I'd like to kind of turn that into, it is a crazy business. It's never a fun time when obviously you lose a coach, but I got a ton of respect for Coach Rueter. He's a great coach. He's a great friend. He's a great father, and he's a class act all the way around. But kind of moving forward, as we do move forward, I am very excited and very honored about this opportunity to be the head coach for the next 5 weeks. I will say our players and our staff have really handled it very well. Obviously, getting back from the Utah State game in almost 4 in the morning and then getting the news very quickly, turning around in about a 36-hour time span. I think the players and the staff have done a great job, obviously respecting Coach Rueter's departure, but also embracing kind of the new future and kind of where we're going for the next 5 weeks. They've done a great job, and I really respect their commitment without missing a beat, because there wasn't a lot of time to think or breathe because you get back so late. We have a short week this week and going right to it. So they did a phenomenal job moving forward, and out of today's practice, the kids flew around, great energy. It was really a positive feel, just the way they reacted over, like I said, a short amount of time and get back on the field so quick. And really for me personally, I just want to create you have a short span of time. You don't have a lot of time, so you have to think about the things you can do in a short amount of time. And I think I want to just provide some leadership and some vision and where we're going for the next 5 weeks to our players, to our staff, even in recruiting, academically, all phases of this entire program. Just give us an outline and a blueprint for what we can do here in the next 5 weeks is really important, and that's really what I kind of stick my thorn into as we move forward. Obviously on the football field, we got to get all 3 phases of the game playing together. I think that's really important. The offense, the defense, the special teams, all 3 phases, taking each individual and making them collectively work as a unit, as a group, to work on, because when you win football games, you're going to win them together as a team. And I think that's very, very important. So I kind of have to be that woven thread to kind of keep them all together and keep them together as we move forward down the line. And I kind of told the team as we talked, right now where we are, you can't change the players and you can't change the staff for the most part, not that we want to. You can't do that. You can't change that right now. But the one thing we can do is change how we play the game. I think that's going to be a really important thing. That's one thing I hope in 5 weeks, when people are watching the game on TV or they're watching the game in the stands, is they see a big difference in how we play the game. The 3 bullet points I gave them and the team meeting was the number one thing was relentless effort. Not good effort, not great effort, relentless. Just out of your mind like a freight train going 100 miles an hour, relentless effort. People can see that sitting in the stands. People can see that on TV. They can watch you and know what you're all about just by how you play the game. The second thing was discipline. I think that's one thing throughout the entire organization that we really need to clean up here in the next 5 weeks is discipline. And then I got asked the question, well, what is discipline to you? Discipline is doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to do it, when it's supposed to be done, every day. And that's really important. You have to, and that's in the classroom, that's on the football field, it's out in the community, wherever you are. Do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, exactly how it's supposed to be done. And the last thing is you got to hold them to that standard. You got to set a high standard. You have to make them expect that standard. And it all ties back into discipline and great effort. And those are the 3 bullet points we're going with. And those things we're going to strive for in the next 5 weeks. And then the last thing I asked him, and I truly meant this, I go, you got to figure out if you're really all in, if we're all in. And I didn't just ask the players. I asked the staff. I asked the water technicians. I asked the managers. I asked the trainers. Everybody in the organization that was there, I go, you guys got to understand, are you all in? Because when we do this for the next 5 weeks, we're not going to go 70%. We're not going to go 60%. If we're going all in, we're 100%, and we're going like a freight train, 100 miles an hour, and we are going. And then how the chips fall from there, at least we know what we did. We gave a phenomenal effort, played great discipline, and we held them to a standard. And we're going to show them that standard every day on film at practice. And again, I almost, in that meeting, I almost tried to talk them out of, are you sure you're all in? I haven't asked them, are you 90% in? Are you 98% in? Because when you have this, we're holding you to a high standard, a high level. You're going to have a lot of outside distractions going on. It's easy to get distracted and unfocused. So it was really important for me to make them understand that you had to stay focused and disciplined on what we're trying to accomplish here in the next 5 weeks. So I asked them, are you all in? And we did a little exercise, and every guy, I told him to think about it overnight, sleep on it, you think about it, and when you come back to the team meeting at 7:30 in the morning, if you're all in, you'll be sitting in these seats, and if you're not, that's okay. I'm not mad at you. That's just part of the process. It's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. We're going to make it positive out of the situation. And every guy came back. So it was really good to see that, and I think it reflected on the practice field today, which was really good. And kind of in closing, it's we have a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. And I'm very excited about the opportunity. I'm very excited about taking a potentially negative situation, turning it into a positive situation. I think we will, because we got great people here, and they're going to work hard at it. And I think hopefully we can get it going, kicking off right this weekend with our Salute to Service game, and get a lot of people out there supporting the Bulldogs. And really for the last 4 games, and we have 3 home games left, and really I want to challenge a lot of the Red Wave and the fans around here that don't get caught up in the emotion of what's going on, and really get focused on supporting these seniors, supporting these players that work extremely hard for you, and come out and support them. So with that, I'd like to open it up.
Coach, you talked about those 3 things: relentless effort, discipline, and holding a high standard for everybody. Were those things missing the first 8 weeks of the season? If so, why? And how can you make that significant a change in so short a time?
That's a great question. And that's one thing I want to, as we move forward, is the things that I'm talking about and things we're talking about as we move forward are not a reflection of what was not being done in the past. It's not at all. And really what we're doing is we're saying, hey, Coach Rueter, he did what he had to do to get us where we are, but now it's not about that. It's about what we're doing as we move forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so when I say these things, I'm not saying what he didn't do. This is what we're doing moving forward. And that's why we want to focus on it, and that's why it's going to be a huge criteria as we move forward. And I think our guys will do it. I really do. It was a great feedback watching these kids not talk about it, but doing it out in the practice field today for the first day. And I even talked about it after practice. My message was, hey, it was a great first day. The chrome can't wear off on the trophy. You got to do it tomorrow, the next day, because it's about discipline. Do the same thing over and over and over, day after day after day. Create those habits, and you have success on Saturdays.
And taking just that effort piece, did you see a different level of effort today than you have been seeing?
Truly did. Absolutely. It was really good. I even told them, yes, it's obviously what you do in the effort in the body of practice, but it's also when you move from period to period. So now what we're doing is we blow a horn, and now they know when they hear that horn, they're going to sprint. And whatever we're doing, you're going. It's not milling around trying to figure out what's going on. You hear the horn, you're going. So it's just as we operate throughout the entire body of practice, they are moving and going fast. So the effort's there. And even in our team meeting, I showed them clips in the last game. There are some clips of some really, really good effort, guys playing really physical. So I showed them the good of what it should look like, and that standard we're trying to get to. But I also showed them the not so good, and what it's not supposed to look like, and what's not acceptable. So I want to show them both sides of the fence, because you can talk about what you want to do. Okay, well, now you got to show them what we're doing and how we're going to get to where we're going to go. And we're going to do that in every practice. Well, a team meeting every morning, and I'm showing clips from the previous day's practice. This is what's acceptable, this is what's not, and hopefully as we move forward, you have more of this, what's acceptable down in and down out.
Coach, can you take us through the timeline of the last 36 hours? After the game ended in Logan, when did the team find out that Coach Rueter was not going to be retained? When did you find out that you were going to be the interim coach?
Yeah, it happened really fast. It's been a crazy 36 hours, but we got home about 4 in the morning. Went to bed. I was going to get up and start game planning for Air Force. I got a call about 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. It was Jim gave me a call. He kind of let me know what was going on and kind of the process, and asked if I'd be willing to do it. And I said, absolutely. I'd love the honor. It'd be great. And then I kind of came to the office, and then I met with Jim a little bit later because I didn't really know the whole timeline, exactly how it all was going to happen. Now he had him and the president had to do some things on their own, and then we kind of set up a schedule. It was really, I don't remember the exact times, but it was literally you come in at 10. We meet with the entire staff. Then it was meet with the players, and then we went right into meetings. We had a series of meetings there. It was such a whirlwind happening so fast, but it all happened on Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to about 11:30, meaning all the meetings that had happened from obviously with Coach Barco, and then with the team and the players, and then Tim talking to the team. It was a series of events that happened throughout the day.
Coach, are you interested in becoming the head coach here beyond the season?
You know, I think that's everybody's aspiration. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'd be crazy to say, no. But as you're a coach and you go through your profession, and I've been very fortunate, been around a lot of great coaches in my career, and I've kind of grabbed pieces from those guys throughout my 17-year career. So, I mean, I would love the opportunity, and but really my focus right now is you can't think selfishly down the road of what I want. It's really got to become right now about the kids and the program and where we're at, and keep building right now. And, hey, we go out and do a great job. Chips fall where they may. We'll make the right decision. But whatever it is, I love Fresno State. I want to be here. I want to support the program, and I want to do it right for the kids in these last 5 weeks, and we'll figure out that last piece down the road.
How does your role change on game day? Are you also going to be calling the offensive plays now? What happens on Friday and for the remaining Saturdays?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit as a staff because this is different now. Because before, after the offensive series, I'd go back and talk to the team, or to the offense, and I'd talk to my guys while the defense is on the field. So I really didn't see too much of the defense. So we're gonna execute a plan where I'm gonna get back there quickly. I'm gonna say my few thoughts very early, and then I'm gonna let another coach kind of handle the what we call the series plan. They'll go over that because I have to go out and watch the game and obviously be with Whammy on defense and timeouts and manage the game. So my correction will be quicker, but we have another plan where I'll be able to get that information to the assistant coach who will be on the phones listening as the series is going on. We'll be able to communicate and talk and have a plan. But I will be more involved in the entirety of the game to obviously run the team.
Over here. Eric, obviously you come in, they struggled last year, 3-9. Would you ever have envisioned how this season has played out and where you're at?
Never, no. I truly thought we would get this thing going in the right direction quickly, and it's obviously a very unfortunate situation we're in now. So no, I mean, I never really envisioned this ever. But again, that's what life brings you, and that's you got to take each challenge as an opportunity. And it's an unfortunate situation, and we got to do the best we can with the people around us to make it a positive situation, and see where the chips fall in 5 weeks.
We've heard from Coach Rueter weekly and some of the players. How has this season been like for you, and what's these past 24 hours been like for you also?
Yeah.
Roller coaster.
Yeah, roller coasters, that's a great way of putting it because that's really what it's been. It's up until this point, you really try to focus on the offense and seeing improvement and getting the offense where we're at. And we're not there yet. We're really not. I think we're making strides. I think we're making a lot of slow strides. A lot of strides that are probably you can't see from the common eye up in the stands, which I understand because you see results on the scoreboard and it's not what you see, and that's usually what people look at. But from that standpoint, I think we'll continue to get better. I do. There's always a handful, 4 or 5 plays where you look at those plays and you watch them closely, and if you correct those plays, the outcome's very different. So that's why I say, even though Coach Rueter is the one that's not here, it's collective as a group of what we did together, and that's really the bottom line. So we got to kind of turn this into a positive and see if we can get different results. And then you asked about the last 24 hours. No, I never envisioned sitting here right now, being the interim head coach, because I didn't think we'd be in this spot. I really didn't.
Eric, you talked a lot about practice, and Coach Rueter always talked about the resolve the guys have after losses, but ultimately that's what you guys do on game day and making plays and converting in big situations. How do you change what happens on game day?
Well, I think it's, like I said, it's really focusing and talking about the discipline, and when you don't execute those plays and you hit them and you miss them, it's a minor of details. And to be successful in anything, business and life, a father, it's about the details and the little things you do. And so it carries over in everything we do. And I think those small details, 4 or 5 plays I'm talking about, you clean up a small detail, and it could be literally a 6-inch step or how you stem the DB. It's those little details that you do. It's the difference between a completion and a non-completion or a big play and an incomplete. So that's why the big push for us, even before this happened on offense, we were talking about just the discipline. Do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, exactly how it's supposed to be done every day of the week. And now it just kind of carries over into the team as a whole. Now you take over the whole team. Now it's offense, defense, special teams, and everybody. We got to instill that discipline and hold that high standard to make sure we do execute those plays on Saturday. Because that's the only way it's going to get better. Yep.
As the losses sort of piled this season, the season wasn't going like we planned it or you planned it. Were you preparing for this moment in your head, like mentally, like as the writing started coming on the wall and maybe there was some things circulating around? Were you preparing for this time?
Preparing to be sitting in the seat right now?
Like in case that they did ask him to step down, were you?
I really didn't. I just kept focusing on us and the offense and moving forward, and really just kind of focusing on the offense because when you're the offense coordinator, you have to kind of focus on your entity of what you do within the organization. You can try to touch and have a feel and a pulse on other parts of it, but now I'm kind of stepping out of my boundaries. So for me, it was just really focusing on the offense, trying to get them going, and really trying to build the culture, what we want on offense, and that identity. So no, I never really envisioned sitting in this chair right now. I don't think like that. I think that's kind of negative thinking. You always got to think positive. You break a win, get a little confidence, and you have 2 wins, and maybe this doesn't happen. So no, I think that's negative thinking in my mind to think that way. When you're trying to prepare games and win games before it happens.
You mentioned the short period of time you have to, try to come up with something positive for the rest of the season. As we know that the loss is the short term, or a win is the short term goal. But do you see any certain point of the team that maybe needs a little bit more work than others?
I think it's. I don't want to pinpoint one particular unit, but like I would say, all across the board and that's why that was the number one bullet point, was just relentless effort. There's guys giving good effort, okay effort, but it's got to be relentless. It's got to be. The game of football is a physical, hard, demanding, tough, blue collar sport. And there's no way around that. And I think to do that, you have to instill that is the relentless effort of what you're doing on every play. Whether it's someone on a kickoff team running full speed as fast as he can down the field and blowing the guy up on the 10-yard line, or if it's DB when it's run play to the right and he's on the left and he's flying across the field and going, or you take 2 or 3 steps and stop and watch. Even on offense, as a running back, do you dip on the guy and truck him, or do you try to make a move? All those little things, it's a mentality, it's a mindset. It's the relentless effort just to keep going and playing as hard as you can. And that's the one thing I want to kind of get amongst the entire board of all the units on the football team. So I think that's the one thing I want to grab onto and get to.
Coach, obviously you can't control how many fans show up in the stands, but you're not oblivious to the fact that the crowds have not been there this season.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Barco yesterday had his message to the Red Wave. What's yours, and what do you think about the fan support of this program, which has dwindled a little bit with the losses?
Sure. I think everybody has their reasons for coming and not coming. And I think as we move forward in these last 3 home games, I would hope that if you're truly a Red Waver and you're going to support this program and you like the direction the place is going, you should come out and support these kids. These kids pour their heart into this. They're working out in the weight room. They're running. They're practicing hard. They're doing everything. And they're doing what they can to win football games, and we're coming up short. But it's really about the players, and that's really what it's all about, because we don't know if we're going to be here or not. We don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, these kids will be here. These players will be here. So support them, be there for them, cheer for them, and give them some – you go to a game and it's half empty. You don't get a lot of juice, a lot of energy from the crowd. If it's full and you got a good house, got a good crowd, it gets them excited. The players feed off the energy of the crowd. Obviously, we're doing well. So I think it's important. So I would really hope they come out and support the guys. We obviously have a great weekend with our services game. Come out and support the services as well, and support Fresno State, and support these kids and support these seniors, because really that's the main focal point right now of the kids.
As the offensive coordinator, you had influence over the quarterback situation. Now as the interim head coach, you have even more so. What's your plan at quarterback? Obviously, Jason's in the room here, and I assume you're going to stick with him, but any plans to give Zach Klein some opportunities? What's the plan up front?
We're gonna stay the course, and I know it's tough, because when you play the quarterback position, it's the most criticized position in all of sports. When it goes well, you're the greatest guy in America. When it goes bad, you're the worst guy in America. That's the nature of the position. I played the position. I know what it's like to sit in his chair. And to be honest, when you really look at the numbers and you really look at what he's done, he's actually gotten better week in and week out. So I would say he's making slow progress. Obviously, I want that progress to be a little bit a steeper grade, obviously a little faster, but he's still young. He's still learning the position. I mean, in this last game, there was a stretch where he was 8 for 8, broke to half, then came out, he was 14 for 14 in a row. So he's still learning the position. So I have 100% confidence in him. And now, if he wasn't making these good decisions, if he wasn't progressing like we thought, if he was making bad decisions, if he was throwing a bunch of interceptions, then you make a change. But he's got a lot of parts around him. There's 10 other guys around him that need to help him. So he's making progress. He's getting more comfortable in the offense. And I think he's doing a good job. But again, if that changes, if that turns, and we do start making mistakes, obviously, everybody in the room, we got to look ourselves in the mirror, and who's the best guy for the position. But right now, as today, Chasen's our guy.
Coach, it's been 20 years since you played that quarterback position at Portland State.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something on your resume, never been a head coach before, right?
Never.
First time. So who do you base this off of? Are there some people that have influenced your career, something you've noticed about them as head coaches that you're going to put into practice in these 4 games down the stretch?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, like the question earlier is, when you're a young coach, you obviously aspire to be a position coach, then a coordinator, and obviously become a head coach someday. And that's obviously the same path there. It's like anybody. You go to sales, you go to VP to be the president of the company, whatever you're going to do. So it's a natural progression. So throughout the years, what I've done is as I go through your career and you start to, pick and choose the information you like as you kind of build your own brand, your own personality, and kind of what your team wants to look like down the road. I've done that through the years. And so that's when Barco asked me for this opportunity, there was no hesitation. I mean, of course I want to do it, and of course I want to be a head coach someday. And what a great opportunity to turn this into a positive, to kind of display some of that personality and some of the organizational things internally with the football team and with the staff, and even recruiting and how we manage, the organization internally. And we'll do that. And I've taken a lot from a lot of different people, and that's why I feel I'm prepared for this opportunity and looking forward to it.
And I'm sure some of that comes from Nick Saban in Alabama last year, but the year before, you're at Kansas in a somewhat similar situation to this. Charlie Weiss gets fired game 4. They elevate you to play caller. What did you learn from that experience where you guys you beat Iowa State, you almost upset TCU, having the rest of that season in that role that you didn't start out the season in? How does that prepare you for this year?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of similarities. There really are. And I think from that experience at Kansas, when you do flip it quick and you do have a little success, you kind of know you kind of have a proven product of what you can do, and hopefully it'll translate here at Fresno State. And I will say this, yes, my time in Alabama, if there's one guy out of my entire career, I was there for 1 year, what I learned from him internally and how to run an organization and how to treat people and how to get the most out of people is definitely from him. From the day I got there, on my laptop, I was taking notes every day. I was studying him. I was watching him because I wasn't in a coordinator role. I wasn't in a position coach's role. So I had the opportunity to sit back and really learn and watch and observe this guy and really study him. And that's really what I did for the whole year. I just took as much as I could from him. And, again, that's why I sit here with confidence and know that there are some things he does internally and how he runs an organization to pay, hopefully in the short amount of time we have. There's some of the things you have to understand. If you're a head coach long-term, you can instill a lot of long-term plans. When you have a short-term, you got to kind of pick those things of what you can do to affect the team in a positive way. And I definitely did that from Coach Saban last year.
Any final questions for Coach?
I've got one more. You addressed the quarterback position, but overall, when I hear you talk at the outset about accountability and holding guys to a high standard, when you look at 22 guys plus special teams, should we expect perhaps some personnel changes, or is it a more open situation for those spots?
Even before, offensively, even before, this happened, we always try to look at ourselves and evaluate each position and move guys around, and we've done that. We moved some guys at the tight end position, we moved some guys at the O-line position. Running back, we were a little thin. Receiver, we actually made a switch 2 weeks ago. But now, like you said, I have to kind of open my horizon a little bit. Now I get to look at defensively and special teams and really look at the whole picture to make sure we're putting ourselves in the right situation to have success on Saturday. And again, in the first 36 hours, it's more about just getting us organized and getting us all right. As we get into a flow of things, and I'll get with Wayne and I'll get with Coach Unger, and we can put a plan together, put the best guys on the field.
Last question from me, Coach. Obviously, this is a distraction for the team that you have to get past, but it's also a short week. So what's the message from this point moving forward, knowing that there is a new coach in place, albeit temporarily right now, and being eliminated from bowl contention, you really only have pride to play for. So how do you approach this week and the last 3 games?
Well, that was part of our team meeting was the timing of when this happened. that's why I gave him the analogy of it's a freight train going 100 miles an hour. The train's not going to slow down. It's not going to be, okay, we had this tragic event, and now we just pause and have a day to relax and get organized. It's going. So we have, obviously, the change. We got to make some changes offensively, defensively, special teams, and then get ready for a game. So every minute of every day is so critical when you're trying to organize, obviously, a football team and then get ready offensively for a short week. You grind all night and you stay around the clock and you stay until it gets done. So the message of the team is like I said, the train's not going to stop. We're going 100 miles an hour, and you got to stay on. If you want to be on the train, jump on and let's do this. And if you don't, that's okay. And that's why the whole, are you all in? Are you all in? We got these signs up, are you all in? And they're going to tap it. It's on every door, every meeting, everywhere you walk in. They're going to walk in. If you're all in, it's going to remind you every day when you tap it, you're all in. So that was the mindset we took. The train's not going to slow down. We got to keep going and keep plugging away. And then you got to kind of instill your system and instill your philosophy and instill your vision as you go through the next 4 or 5 weeks.
All right, thank you for your time, Coach.
You got it.
We'll bring up Jeff Camilli.
All right.
and
Thanks, guys.
Virgil.
Thank you.
That's interim head coach Eric Kiesau, ready to coach his first game Friday night, 7:30 against the Air Force Falcons. Salute to Services Night. You're going to hear all that right here on 940 ESPN Game Day Live at 4. We've got a special show with Coach Kiesau. You can get to know him a little bit better and come out and meet him at Fresno Airport Wednesday night to coincide with the homecoming of the 12th Central Valley Honor Flight. We're going to have a big patriotic party out there at the airport Wednesday night. Join us there at 5 o'clock. And now we're going to hear from 2 of the 4 Bulldog captains, senior linebacker Jeff Camilli and redshirt freshman quarterback Jason Virgil, talking about what's been happening here in the last couple of days. Jeff, let's start with you since you've been here a lot longer. What has this been like for you to go through the last couple of days and all the emotions that you deal with in a situation like this?
Well, it's a confusing time for our team right now, but I'm still confident we can go out there and win some games right now with Coach Kiesau coming in. He's got a good plan. He's just going to keep us going, keep us motivated. It's really just you can't feel bad for yourself. For this season, it was a rough time, but you just got to keep going and keep working. So.
Did you notice a difference in practice today?
Yeah, it seemed like everyone was pretty fired up today. I think he really reiterated what we need to do, and we need to put out that effort, and we need to be disciplined, and just seeing everything happen. A guy, man lost his job, kind of because of us. You kind of take a little bit of that responsibility. So, I think everybody really noticed how real this got, and decided to kick it up a little bit.
How about for you, Jason? How did that news hit you yesterday?
It definitely hurt. Coach Rueter has done a lot for us, gave us the opportunity to play Division I football. So just, hearing that he wasn't going to be with us for the rest of the year, it kind of hurt. But, Coach Keys, he did a great job just coming in and, weathering the storm. We didn't really know what direction we were going to go in. And, he came in and he gave us a direction. So, we're just following behind him.
Can either one of you guys share anything that Coach Rueter said to you guys as he addressed the team for the final time?
He just said that he loved us, and he's still telling us to keep pushing, and he influenced us a lot. He was here for so long, and he was our leader. He was our general, and he just told us to keep fighting. And he's still gonna be watching us and rooting for us. And that meant a lot. And I don't know. He changed a lot of our lives. Like he was saying. He brought us here, so he loves us, and we loved him too.
Jeff, being a senior, this is your last go-around, and with the team having been eliminated from bowl contention, how tough is it for you knowing that you're not playing for anything other than your teammates over the last few games?
It was tough, but kind of come to the realization, I'm out there with some of the best buds I'll ever have in my lifetime, and just gonna go out there and work with them, and hopefully get some wins. That's what the ultimate goal is, and that's what it's always been. And so I'm just looking to go out there and have fun and compete with my brothers.
Questions for Jason. Jason, as a young player, how important is it for you to get this turnaround going as soon as possible?
It's very important. None of us want to lose. We don't want to have losing seasons. We all came here to win, and so we just trying to get the turnaround as quickly as possible. That's the the biggest thing. You know, we all just want to win, like I said, and so we're all just working and trying to focus on that.
Jeff, and in your senior year, what do you hope to accomplish in this short span for the rest of the season?
I mean, like I said before, just go out there and play. You know, have some fun with it, and see where it goes. You know, I mean, everyone's pretty fired up. So I mean, I've never been through a situation like this before in my football career, and but you know, Coach Kiesau's, you know, he's got the right. He gave us a direction to go, and you know, we're following him. So.
Jason, you probably know Coach Kiesau better than most of the guys on the team. How would you describe what kind of characteristics he possesses that you think would prepare him for this role?
Coach Kiesau is very energetic. I mean, that's the thing that we have, and I think that's the thing that's going to help us, you know, in these next couple of games. Is just having somebody that's very energetic. You know, he possesses leadership skills. I mean, we all follow him as far as the quarterbacks, and so I think he showed that yesterday. You know, when he came in a meeting, it was kind of a downtime for us. You know, just seeing Coach Rueter leave and you know having him say you know that he loved us. It just kind of all hit us, but. You know, Coach Keys, he came in being very energetic. He got us back going, and I think it showed today at practice. You know, there was just guys flying around, and we just had a different feel about ourselves.
When you looked around yesterday, and I'm sure it was a whirlwind getting back late and finding that news on probably not much sleep. When you look around and kind of look at your teammates' eyes, can you describe what kind of emotions it felt like everyone was feeling?
Everybody was just kind of in shock. I mean, honestly, we was just kind of shocked that, you know, our leader that we've had this whole year, and, you know, for Jeff, he's had him his whole career. And so to hear that he was leaving, it just kind of put us in shock. And then, you know, after he gave his message and walked out the doors, we were just real quiet, just looking around and really not knowing what to do or what the direction of the team was going to go, the program. So it was just a shock feeling.
Jason, to have Coach Kiesau from the offensive coordinator now to the interim head coach have that confidence in you and saying that he's going to stay the course and you're the quarterback, how does that make you feel knowing that you're still the guy and it's still your job to lose?
I mean, it makes me feel great. You know, I'm definitely thank Coach Kiesau for the opportunity, for just, you know, believing in me and just sticking with me. You know, just at this point, just have to go out there and just make plays and do what we have to do offensively to get wins. And so, you know, it's just great to hear him say that, though.
Any other questions for the
Jason, he talked about your progress, and he said right now it's slow progress, and he'd like that to accelerate. As you evaluate yourself and you see 14 in a row that you connect on, and then you see another series where the receiver's going this way and the ball's going that way, how would you evaluate yourself as far as the biggest growth area or where you can improve that'll really make a difference for the team?
I mean, the biggest growth area for me is just going out there and being a leader to the guys. I mean, even, you know, when stuff is not going good for us offensively, just being a positive spirit, just being positive the whole time and just getting guys going, you know, just not letting guys get into a funk, you know, even though things are going bad at that time. And I think that's the biggest thing, whether it's, you know, just me speaking or, you know, just me having to make a big play for us to spark us, just spark the whole team. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to grow at.
And Jeff, for you, got to face Air Force. That triple option's always a challenge. From a defensive perspective, having gone up against them before, what's the priority for you guys on D this week against the Falcons?
Oh, you know, right now it's just triple option. I mean, that's discipline. You know, every single play you got to do the right thing. You got to do your job, not worry about anyone else's. So, I like the way today's practice was. You know, we went just literally just didn't meet up with the offense. We just went straight into scouts, went all the way through, and that was really good. You know, we were fitting it a lot better now. You know, played it a couple times, so I mean, we're ready to go. You know, we're excited.
And you guys talked about Coach Rueter telling you that he loved you guys, and I know how you feel about him. And you're playing his alma mater in this game, and you know how badly he would have wanted to beat the Falcons. Is there something for you guys there that, even though he's not your coach anymore, part of you is still playing for him and trying to do something for him?
Oh, of course. You know, I mean, obviously it's a rough time, and you know, getting that win would be, you know, huge for us and huge for him too. You know, I mean, definitely brighten up the day.
If there are not any other questions, we'll let the two go.
All right, that's Jeff Millie, senior linebacker, Jason Burgess, freshman quarterback, two of the 4 Bulldog captains. They're playing at home Friday night against the Falcons of Air Force, 7:30 to kick. It's Services Night. Tickets on sale at the Bulldog Ticket Office, gobulldogs.com. If you have served in our military, you can get a free ticket by